Hi Becky, have a good day?
Yeah, very good day.
Good. So what did you go to see today, Becky?
This morning we watched In a Thousand Pieces, which was by a three group of girls called the Paper Birds. Really
So can you give us a quick outline of the plot and the style of performance?
I can. It was addressing the issue of sex slavery within girls coming across from Eastern European countries, and sort of addressing the ignorance of the general public in Britain and how they have no voice to this issue, and how their expectations are shattered when they go across and they're just forced into it. And the style, very abstract. Obviously something like that has to be, because they were illustrating things like rape. You can't do anything but abstract.
Right.
At times Brechtian, because then they'd come out of character and they'd talk to the public.
Talk directly to the audience.
Sort of explaining logistics.
Right.
And yeah, that's probably the
So how many people were in it?
Just three girls. All quite young. They all went to uni together.
And
then,
a musician, did I hear someone talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was one guy in the background who was doing the music live, pianist, and it was the music worked really well with the piece, I thought. Apart from that, it was literally just the four of them, but it was brilliant.
So what would you say the highlights were of the performance? This is acting,
actually,
character, technical, storyline, anything, that sort of thing. So choose.
It was consistent, actually. There was, I'd say, one part they'd done some voiceover recordings of different people's interview, probably of different people in the public, and they'd then mimed the voiceover using one motif. I don't know if you're getting to this.
Yeah, sort
of. And that wasn't that really effective?
Yeah, it was.
And how they'd take on a completely different character on what people thought about this issue, and they were miming it. So
that's what Joe called
really
Creature Comforts,
good.
was it?
Creature Comforts.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, I understand.
But serious, and obviously addressing what people thought about sex slavery. That was really good. And I'd say use of motifs was brilliant. They had
motifs in what way?
They had an ice cream throughout, and it was sort of signified their like image of what Britain was and what they loved about it, and their hope of it. But in reality, it was the ice cream fell on the floor. They were like licking it.
This is the
all
girls'
up.
hope.
Really
the girls that were brought over
it
here
was
for
also
sex
a lot,
slaves.
the ice cream was a lot about innocence as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
right, yeah.
And the ice cream at the end, there was just cream all over the floor, and they were all like rolling in it, and like they were just, their image of what Britain was going to be like for them was just being crushed. And also there's the significance of the ice cream being that there was a calculated bit at the end where it had worked out that an average girl had been raped 1,500 times or something, and that was the price. £1,500 was the price they'd been paid in the first place,
Right.
which is like £1 a rape, which is an ice cream.
Oh, I see.
So equivalent,
Yeah.
and in Lincoln.
It sounds, it might not be a good question, because it sounds very heavy subject matter, but which moment did you like best, for whatever reason?
Okay, I'd have to say the physical theatre in specific, I can't say like it, but what I thought was really effective. They actually showed the three of them a rape. Obviously you couldn't see the rapists, the rapers, but their effects, and it was done with music completely against the grain. It was like classical calming music, and they're there doing really...
Committing a horrific act.
Yeah.
That was a really good part.
Okay, so if I asked you to give it a star rating based on your own criteria, 1 to 5, what would you give it?
It was, I mean, I find it hard to fault, actually. I think 4 would be not enough. Maybe 5 is like, whoa, 5, maybe you should give it 5. But I'm tempted to go a 5. It's the best thing I've seen yet this week.
Good.
It wasn't amateur in any way.
And if you had the chance to direct it, bearing in mind it's already got a 5, could you do anything different?
Well,
If you did the Becky magic touch.
I guess it took a little while to get into it, but then I guess that established that I think it was so creative that it would be hard to add anything more in because you'd be overdoing it.
Right.
I really don't know what I would do. It's such a good thing, it's hard to fault.
Good.
Really.
Well, if you can't do anything, that's fantastic. High commendation. So I guess if you're giving it 5 out of 5, the next question's a bit obvious. Would you recommend the performance?
Yes.
And why? And to
Okay.
whom? Can I ask you to whom? What age group or what sort of person do you think would appreciate it
You have to be sort of
most?
above 14, 15.
To appreciate the content or to be comfortable with the
Yeah,
content?
to be comfortable with the content,
Yeah.
actually. Maybe even 16 and above. But I think what's great is you're watching as one of those ignorant public that are being addressed.
Right.
So in that way it does almost address anyone. So it's suitable for anyone above a certain age. It's suitable for anyone if you're... Yeah, I think... I don't know, it wouldn't... It is a really interesting piece of theatre even if you've never even thought about that.
Good.
Issues.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's really helpful. Right, Craig, what did you go to see?
I saw the Caesar twins. By the Caesar twins, I guess.
And what sort of
It was-
what style? Well, we've talked about this. So
Yeah.
What's the plot and style? So you can tell
It's
everyone
not,
else.
not really a plot, as in, beginning, middle and end. The style was, it was an acrobatic show, very circusy, wasn't it? Like, very, not like at all what I was expecting, at all. Obviously we'd seen so much heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I just thought we would see something along the lines with a bit of drama in it, or maybe even like a plot. Maybe an acrobatic show, but with like a meaning to it. But this one was just more like they was there having fun. They wanted just to show off their skills, I guess.
So what sort of skills were they?
Like the typical backflips. Just a complete over the top acrobatic. Amazing show. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. They got
Good.
the crowd going. It was just brilliant.
So would you say they're good showmen?
Yeah, 100%.
Not actors though.
Not actors at all. Because there's obviously a difference. They pleased the crowd. I don't think you would walk out feeling you didn't have a good show unless acrobatic shows aren't your kind of thing.
Yeah.
Along the same lines as obviously the one that we saw this morning.